deflate the lumbar support so you don't have the bubble on the lean back. Okay guys, we want to proceed to do the removal of the front seats, and I'm going to demonstrate how it's done. Basically, the first thing to do, and I always recommend this, guys, deflate the lumbar support so you don't have the bubble on the lean back. So always deflate your lumbar support if it's equipped with electronic lumbar support, just like this one. The next thing, guys, put the lean back in an angle so you can remove the headrest. So we have our headrest now. The lean back is in a position that we can remove this, and we want to use one hand operation. Fantastic, successful. So you have to squeeze this pin right here, and there is another section over here. This one is kind of inside. Let me show you. This one you have the little thing to do it, this one do not, so you have to press kinda underneath the plastic so you can release the clip. And that's how the headrest comes off. Now we're gonna put it back in an angle that is gonna be suitable for the removal of the ugly, stinky cloth, so we can put our leather, which is more or less in that angle. It's slightly more than, I will call it about 100 degrees, 110 degrees, more or less, something like that. Now, we're gonna make room for the bolts. It has 2 bolts in the front and 2 bolts in the back. Now, guys, these bolts are the star type. This is the E14. Yeah, this is the E14. This is the socket, and I have this wibbable because you're gonna need this in the passenger. In the driver you have plenty of room to go straight, no problem. For the passenger, this one is very useful to have. And I have an extension. This one is just to break the bolt for the seat belt, which is located here. We're gonna get to that in a moment. And for that one, we're gonna use the T. This is the Torx, the T50, and I have my spatula to pop that clip from that thing right there. And okay, let's do the removal of the bolts. So I'm gonna use my tool the way that it is with this wibbable. I know you guys don't need it, but like I say, in the passenger it's gonna be required. Well, not really, so it didn't really, it's not that solid, so let's switch. Have one. That's 2. And we're gonna get them out of the way. Now the next step is to move it forward so we can access the rear bolts, and at the same time we're gonna remove that molding for the seat belt. Let's do that now that we're here. And I just pop it up. Normally I need to use my prying tool. Anything to pry it up will do. And right there, guys, that's your Torx 50. Let's switch to Torx 50, and I'm gonna raise slightly the seat, just like that, to gain access. This one, we need to break them sometimes with the, because they don't give up, as you can see. So what I do is I use the tool. Yeah, I know, guys, I need a cameraman, but we're in a budget. So basically I'm gonna use this to break it because it has Loctite, blue Loctite, to prevent the bolt for coming out from factory. Now that it's brake, I can use the impact driver and get it off. Now, one thing that I always recommending, guys, is don't just release this thing. You have to make a little bit like a knot. Don't let it go, the seat belt, when you have it like this. You have to make a knot. I'll show you in a minute. Just like this. Why we do this? It's just so it prevents the seat belt for reading that is already been beyond the limit. Otherwise, you're gonna have errors in the airbag, in the dashboard, and it's a safe way to detach the seat belts. It's just prevention for any malfunction in codes when it comes to the computer. It's a good practice, guys. You might have an error and then you will not be able to erase it later on, not even with a scanner. So okay, we have that. Now the second thing we're gonna do, we're gonna raise our seat, especially if it's electrical, just slightly. And now let's get the bolts in the back. And we have two, they're all exposed. One and two. Okay, now we don't want this track to be stick out like that or in the front. We want that track to be at least even with the seat. I'm gonna put this one more up. This is the ideal position way, guys, all the way up and more or less in the center, in that position, because later on when you remove the seat, you're not gonna have the opportunity to move it unless you bring it back to the car or you find a way to power up in the workbench, which is time consuming. I never done that. So now that it's like that, you can see down here underneath we have our plug, and all we have to do is click on it and it's out. We just click this little pin and it's removed, and it's only two, guys. Now it's unplug, it's unbolt, it can come out. So I'm gonna show you the technique that I use in a minute. Let me position the tripod so you can see. I think this is good. So that's one way to do it, guys. There is many other ways to do it, so that's the way that I did for this particular car, and I'm gonna continue in the next video so you can see the removal of the rear. Guys, if you have questions, please put it in the comments and I'll continue in the next video.